Hi, hello from the air mattress in the pool. Candlelight. Oh my God. And the stars above. I'm gonna lay down and pontificate with you. I just had this amazing thought. Here, I'll have you lay down with me. A memory. I was like complimenting myself on choosing not to partake in sugar. I was like, oh, I could put a little whipped cream in my organic fruit smoothie as like a little dessert. Like the thought popped upon me, and then and I was like, yeah, like I've been so good, like with a little sugar, you know? Well, at first I was just like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, I've been so good. I have hardly had any sugar. And I will tell you that the ice cream was beckoning to me today from I hate going into the groceries, like especially like the chain grocery stores. Anyway, and I was thinking, it's great. I don't really even miss it, but I know if I had a taste, I'd be like, we're back. Which I am. I have addictive tendencies to things that make me feel good. Like I have an addiction to building ladihan. I have an addiction to like making myself super, super comfortable. I have an addiction for trying to bring awareness to the fuckery of mowing our lawns and the weed whacking and the incessant, horrific pollution that's coming from all of that. The weed whacker sounds are just like obnoxious AF. Anyway, I was giving myself a compliment to, I was like, I don't need the sugar. I'm just gonna put some grape nuts in there. Not as good, by the way. It's just not good. Pretty crunchy. Not very sweet at all. Here, it's better. Okay, I'm just gonna tell this story very quickly. I'm not gonna get sidetracked, I promise. Except right now. One of my first videos was in Costa Rica, and I'm talking about being a diva because I worked in the farm for like an hour, and I was like, oh my God. Anyway, that was what set me on this course of recording. I remember when I was young, I was honestly probably 2 or 3, because I remember where we were living. And I would stick a spoon into I just had this memory just pop into my head, and it's around addiction. Yeah, like I'd stick a spoon into Nestle Quick, the one that had the rabbit on the front of it, that powdered chocolate, a big tin container of powdered chocolate. And I would dip I'd get a big spoonful of it, and then I would slowly dip it into milk and watch this like weird, whatever happened. But I would probably, I don't know how many bitefuls I would have. Enough to like, maybe 2 or 3, right? I think. Can't remember that specifically, but I remember having this thought too, thinking, I can't wait till I'm a grown-up and I can do whatever I want. I can eat whatever I want, and there'll be no one there to stop me. And so it just kind of like dawned on me that like when I got divorced, I was like, this is like the first time in my life that I'm actually an adult with money, and like I've got like friends, and I've got a life, and I have a house. Like I've got it fucking made. And I am no longer scared. And I had this like nagging, scary feeling that like, shit, like the sky's the limit, right? I could go as far as I want to. Look what I've done. Oh, this is going to lead into some therapy right here. I mean, I've worked on all of this stuff like a lot, but every time I talk about it, like something new arises, right? As it does. But I would have this like, almost like a fear. It was, now in hindsight, that's what I'm trying to do, is like therapize it, pull it around, and like hindsight, it'd be like, that was the beginning of my fear of being big, fear of being too much. No one's here to rein me in. I mean, my husband reined me in. Like, again, in hindsight, at the time I was like, I'm an empowered woman. I make more money than him, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, he did not question. Well, that's not true. He did. That's what he did. I got my nose pierced when our daughter was like, I don't know, 2-ish. So we've been married for a little bit, and I was like, I'm feeling like I'm tired of being like a frumpy fat mom, and I went and got my nose pierced, not thinking, never fucking dawned on me that he would want me to ask permission, and he lost his fucking mind. I mean, in a, not like a crazy rage or whatever, but like, I mean, oh my. And I was like, I mean, in hindsight, it's comical. I should have just looked at him and been like, you could just shut the fuck up. I'll do whatever the goddamn hell I please. Like, you're not the boss of me. God, I wish I would have had that, And like, not let it impact, like, I was like, oh, he's right. I shouldn't be like, my role now is a frumpy mom. That's basically kind of what he said over and over. And like, I had to get rid of some of my friends, or like, it just became problematic for me to hang out with the crowd that like was going to Red Rocks and going to concerts and smoking weed. I'm a mom now. Like, we're parents now. We can't be doing that kind of stuff. And all those friends went off to like live awesome, fun lives, like taking all their kids on vacations together. And anyway, that is the path that I chose, because I chose it. Because I was a free woman. I could have either just been like, you can go fuck yourself, I'm going to do whatever I want. And instead I was passive aggressive. I would talk shit behind his back to my friends and complain all the time about like all the things. And I should have just been like, I mean, maybe we could have been even happily married had I just been, the empowered woman that I like actually embodied that empowerment. Like I expect my daughter to do. Anyway, I've learned a lot from it. But I was like, God, no one is here for the first time in my life to stop me from eating as much chocolate from the Nestle Quick tin as I want to, or to stay out as late as I want to, or to do whatever the fuck I want to. That's when I really started allowing my creativity to fly. I was like, I own a house, and I can do, this isn't a rental. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So I started slapping paint on things, hanging hammocks from the ceiling. I had fun. I had a badass space. Oh, and then the breakdown came. Breakdown. And then the addictions really started in. It really started in big time with a man. Oh. Whew. for my whole life, you know, I didn't take guys that seriously, you know, like, honestly, nobody was good enough for me, so I was like, all right, well, it seems I'm supposed to have a boyfriend, because, you know, that's the American dream, right? I'm gonna have to get married and have some kids, because that's what we do. Like, my parents I didn't have, like, this amazing fucking education to, like, so I thought it'll be better with a partner. I'll find somebody who lets me kind of be me and let me do whatever I want, but, you know, who was interesting. I found Mark to be very interesting in the beginning. He was different from all the, you know, software idiots that I was working around in DC and, like, the politicians. And he was creative, and that's what I loved about him, was that he had followed his heart. Had followed his dream and was doing it. I just, eventually it became problematic because he didn't have enough guts to leave and go out on his own. I was encouraging him, like, oh my God, I'll support you, start your own thing, you know, we'll create this. And I was trying to help sell him. And I was like, I wanted to dom him. Be like, just do it my way. I know how to sell stuff. But now I understand his pain way more, because, you know, well, I know his whole backstory too, so I know, like, where his fear comes from. Oh, I'm trying to lay on my belly. I have a whole scarf outfit on. Anyway, addiction to a man, because, anyway, the point. I had always been the dominant one, I guess, in the relationship. You know, I was the breaker upper, right? I was the ender of the relationships. I would just walk, be like, and peace out. But then my Achilles heel is that, like, I would feel guilty about it. I'd be like, oh my God, who the fuck do I think I am? Like, I mean, he's a nice guy. Like, they were nice, you know, and all my friends, I don't know. Anyway, not all of them are that nice. And I did have some situations too where I pondered or hung on a little too long. Anyway, my addiction came when I was like, I became something I had never been before, that is for sure. And watching it happen to myself and, like, being in it, it was like, it's like I had fallen into some, like, goddamn, like, anxious, attached, insecure, clingy, needy victim quicksand. And that is what I needed. And he played his part of avoidant and whatever else, you know, we agreed upon in some karmic contract. He played his part very fucking well. And we both had our, you know, journeys through, you know, addiction in our own ways. And we were addicted to one another. It was fucking intense. Like, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. I don't know much about their story except the fact that they were together and apart like a gazillion motherfucking times. I don't know their tragic ending. But they didn't even have texting. I can't even imagine what their situation would have been like had they had, like, the ability to I mean, the evolution just in quantum entanglement from what it used to be. I mean, there's like 10 times more the energy on this planet through, you know, just heart energy, right? Heart, the billions of people were all like entangling with one another and just kind of like meshing. But what goes in comes out, you know, like, I don't want to get into AI. I don't want to ruin this conversation with that. Although she has been, I gotta tell you, she's been treating me right the last few days, using her for some, like, I don't know, shit is just flowing for me right now. In fact, I'm gonna end this and go get busy. I have to stay focused, but I've also got a lot of downloads, so I'm just gonna continue with my downloads. It's my therapy, makes me feel, I mean, this is how I get to know myself. I just talk, and who's ever listening. And I know you listen. I know you don't listen to all of it, but you're a good listener. Thank you for being a good listener. It's important. I'm working on it too. I mean, I hear a lot of things, you know, and I am a good listener. I'm a very good listener. I think a lot of people take my manic, you know, I talk a lot. And I also can be excited. And so I can sometimes, I think, give the impression that I'm not interested in what other people have to say. But I'm working on it. I'm just trying to like be more quiet, see what happens. I bet something great. If I could only get to this wall over here. It's starting to get windy. I don't want to have to get into the pool again. Oh. All right. Bye.